All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time right here for what's called Cruising with the Case Handler, a show on personal injury and immigration. Today is going to be exclusively immigration. I'm going to ask my colleagues in marketing to actually share the page for me here on Facebook before I introduce the attorneys. And once again, thank you all so much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, right here. All right. Just want to say good morning to you, Alan E.K. How are you, Mr. Attorney?
Good, thank you. And how are you?
All right, wonderful. Hanging in there. What about you, well, Mr. Nelson Madrid? You are in the dark.
I am, but I am here, and I am well.
Okay. Okay, good. All right. Just want to make sure that you're good, man. All right. A pleasant good morning to the lady, Alexandra Bondikov. How are you?
Good morning. Very well. It's nice out. That makes me happy.
That's good. That's good. As long as you're happy, we're happy. All right. Okay. Let's jump right into it, ladies and gentlemen. This show is about immigration. Today, we're going to be getting to the immigration questions shortly. I am David Squeeze Annakie, CEO of the Link Up Media Group of Companies, featuring Link Up Radio 93.5 FM since 1996. And we have a firm that's been around for 60 solid years. Put them together, you have this show, Cruising with the Case Handler, a show once again on personal injury and immigration. So before we get to any immigration questions, just want to have the General himself bring us up to speed right here. Okay, General, bring us up to speed on what's happening with immigration.
Okay, there are a lot of new developments. Let me give you a few of them. One of them is that the government has decided for Venezuelan citizens and those who have no nationality who last lived in Venezuela will qualify for TPS. TPS stands for Temporary Protected Status, which means that these people will not be worried about being deported, being grabbed by ICE. They will also be eligible for working permits. So we had this for Haiti some time ago also. So if you know anybody or anybody's listening from Venezuela and they're in the United States, they will be eligible for TPS, Temporary Protected Status. And this will be good for 18 months from March 9th, 2021 to September 9th, 2022. So temporary protected status for Venezuelans, good. Big news is that the public charge wealth test, the unlawful public charge wealth test is gone. It was tied up in the courts. The Biden administration is not going to enforce it. And it was unlawful anyway. And a lot of families were afraid to take health care, food, housing assistance because they thought that they would lose their chance to become a permanent resident because the Trump administration put up this invisible wall in form of a wealth test, and it was discriminated against certain people. So very important, no more public charge. You don't have to worry about the I-944. That's out, and that's big news that the public charge unlawful wealth test is gone. Okay, now, as far as people who are in removal proceedings but don't have a date and they're not detained, the date keeps being pushed back, and now it's till April 16, 2021, and probably will continue. Nelson, you want to mention anything about this pushing the date back to April 16th?
No, I mean, pretty much, again, it appears, and that's only for the New York City non-detained cases. You know, I don't know what every state is doing. I don't know what every other state, whether they're opened or not, or when they plan to open. But I believe that the reason they are closed is because obviously there is still nothing in place to protect everyone, everyone in attendance. So at the moment, there is no reopening date.
So if you have a removal proceeding scheduled and there's no date, there's still no date until April, the middle of April, and we expect it to keep getting pushed back and pushed back. So good news for those who are in removal proceedings who are not detained and don't have a date. Okay, next. We know that the immigrant visa ban has been lifted, and therefore there are 380,000 people waiting to be scheduled for immigrant visa appointments at an American consuls overseas. The problem is that the American consuls overseas will not be able to handle that They really had been cutting down because of COVID. A lot of the consuls were going back to the United States. And so then how they're going to deal with 380,000 people waiting to be scheduled for their interviews at American consulates, including Jamaica, problem. Now, there also is a non-immigrant visa ban, which is still in effect, but the non-immigrant visa ban, it will end at the end of March, unless the Biden administration ends it earlier than that, or unless the Biden administration extends it. But that may be good news for people who are waiting for their non-immigrant visas at American consulates. And there's a ban in effect till March 31st. And hopefully it will go away. Now, also, the new senator from California, Alex Padilla, has become the head of the Senate Immigration Subcommittee. And Senator Padilla is expected to focus on two things in terms of legislation. He's expected to focus on DACA and DREAM Act, and he's expected to focus on farm workers. So either there's a DACA provision in the Immigration Act of 2021, Biden's big 353-page immigration bill, but there's also a separate legislation pending which would protect and maybe permanently protect the DACA people. So, and also,
David, there's noise in the background. I don't know what that is.
neither do I. So anyway, this is
Try to
good.
figure that out also. I don't know where that came from.
This is good news for DACA people. There are a number of things which could help you. There's a bill pending in Congress, especially for DACA and TPS people. It's in the Biden immigration bill of 2021. So we're expecting some good things for DACA people and even people who didn't get DACA but could qualify for DACA now. So that's also good news. So that's the fact that 380,000 people are waiting for immigrant visa. Oh, this is the last thing, and then I'll turn it back to Squeeze.
Thank you.
In 2019, there were 240,000 cases pending at the National Visa Center, waiting for their interviews to be scheduled at American consulates. In 2020, there were 371,000 people waiting for their cases to be scheduled for interview at American consulates by the National Visa Center. In 2021, 380,000 cases waiting to be processed at American consulates all over the world by the National Visa Center. The problem is that there's no staff or not much staff at American consulates. And so how the Department of State is going to go through this is going to be really a big problem because of the pandemics and because of other problems. So that's sort of some of the updates, and we'll talk about more as we go on. So I'll stop now, Squeeze, and you can go on and take questions.
Thank you so much. Once again, folks, this is Cruisin with a Case Handler, the show on immigration today. Everybody that's out there right now, I'm going to extend something to you. It will not last forever. If you're out there and you would like to speak with one of the individuals at PPID, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, the law firm, for free initially, all right? Get a free phone consultation by calling this number, 844-774-3529. You can ask for Ralston. He'll set it up for you, get it done for you. That's 844-774-3529. Yes, you heard correct.
Our revenue is down 70%. Dude, it is a year.
Hold on, guys. I don't know what the hell's going on.
The hardest chapter ever in the history of the Music Factory. Is this an opportunity or is this actually devastating?
I started my agency. I'm going to train, coach, and empower you.
Is that? That's
She
not.
was just 3 years old when she was diagnosed with autism
That's
and
you.
an disorder. When that doctor said that her life was going to be like, that really pissed me off.
How do we get rid of that?
I won't give up. And then just
You have something running in the background.
could ever
Hold
experience.
on, let me mute you. I just muted you. Yeah, it's from your side. You evidently have something in your house. You have something running over there, man. I'm here freaking out thinking it's me. Sorry about this, folks. What a great show so far. Alexandra just laughing up a storm over there. You're like, okay. All right, so let's get to the immigration questions while Alan, the general, sorts out what's happening on his computer. Freaked me out there for a minute. All right, let's get to the first question here, and let's see if the attorneys are ready to get this going. All right. It says here, my fiance resides in the United States and would like to file for myself and my child, not his. Would it be better or easier for him to come to Jamaica and marry me, then file for me? Or should he file for a 90-day fiance visa? If he files for the 90-day fiance visa and I'm granted, can I take my child on that visa? I'll let you take that one, Alexandra.
The fiance visa is certainly a possibility. We do not recommend it simply because it takes just as long as the marriage path. So
Right.
if possible, I think the best way to go about this is to get married abroad and then file the I-130. However, for the child to come as well, there needs to be a separate I-130 because immediate relatives do not have derivatives. So again, call us. We can go over the details. It may not be possible to do the I-130, but generally speaking, that's what we recommend due to the time that it takes for the K-1 visa to be adjudicated.
Yeah, in addition, American consulates are very suspicious about fiancé visas, and they sometimes think that this is just a way to get somebody here, but they're not really going to get married. So they give you a hard time before they issue the fiancé visa at the American consulates. Another reason why just getting married and doing an I-130 is a better idea than a fiancé visa. But you'll have to do, as Alex said, you'll have to do two petitions, one for the spouse and one for the child.
Okay. Once again, folks, if you have questions, remember to post your questions on Facebook, or you may, of course, post it in the WhatsApp group that my marketing director has put up on the page. Remember, put those questions here. Or you could just call the firm, do a consultation, and just hire them. Just let them do all the dirty work. Okay? Look at Nelson's office right there. He's got papers all around. He loves it. He wallers in it. He enjoys helping people in the immigration area. So call him up. 844-774-3529. Hire PPID. Hire the law firm that makes sense. 844-774-3529. That's 844-774-3529. Let's get to another question here. It says, my boyfriend of 4 years already has 2 children of his own. I have no kids. His mother, who is a U.S. citizen, is currently filing for him and his 2 children. If I should get pregnant for him before the filing is complete, will that affect his filing? He keeps telling me that he can't have any more kids until the filing is completed. Is that so? Interesting.
I think the only problem with having more kids is that you may have to, you have to show that there's enough money so that you won't become a public charge. So somebody's going to have to put an affidavit of support in, and the more people that have to be supported, the more money the person who puts the affidavit of support in has to have. So it's not that having a child is going to change it much. It's just that you're going to have to come up with, the person who's filing will have to come up with more money to show that they have enough money to support all these people. So
or maybe he just doesn't want any more kids, and that's his story to her.
Maybe he doesn't want any more.
Maybe he's just his way of saying, I don't want any more kids. I don't want, All right, so.
Give us a call.
If I were you, ma'am, I would give PPID a call, all right? Okay? I mean, they can't help you to have a kid, but they can help you in the legal capacity where immigration is concerned, all right? Read between the lines here. But anyway, reach out to the firm. The number is 844-774-3529. If you're just joining us on 93.5 FM, wake up, turn up your radio. We've got Alan EK doing something over there. Let me mute him again. All right. Turn up your radio. Store this number, 844-774-3529. Get yourselves a free phone consultation. Call them right now. Ask for my yard brethren in Ralston. Get it linked up, ladies and gentlemen. Get your immigration questions answered for free, but then hire the company. The number once again, 844-774-3529. Call them right now, right this second, right this minute. It's 14 minutes before the hour, right here on a Wednesday, March 10th. This is not a tape. Call the attorneys, 844-774-3529. Here's another one. My son's on file for her brother, my son's father, and included him from 2007. It has been over 13 years and they still haven't heard anything. What, if anything, can they do to expedite the process or get some information on the actual status of the application? Nelson?
I'm sorry. What was that question? I'm in the middle of something.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
I see it.
take that. Was the petition approved? And what is he waiting for? What was the question of it? In other words, was it?
I'll repeat the question. It says, my son's aunt filed for her brother, my son's father, and included him from 2007. Very convoluted here. It has been over 13 years and they still haven't heard anything. What, if anything, can they do to expedite the process or get some information on the actual status of the application?
We can help you get information on the status of the application. The only problem is that some of these different immigrant visa categories have long waiting times. So when was the petition filed and by who? It was filed by the aunt for who?
No, it sounds like it was a brother filing for a sister, or a sister filing for a brother. Typically, the wait time is about 15 years on those type of cases. It sounds like an F4.
That's right. That category is backlogged till October 22, 2006. So Nelson is right. It's backlogged by at least 15 years.
Okay. Wow. So long asphalt time.
Yes.
Wow. All right. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Cruising with a Case Handler, the show on personal injury and immigration. Also would like to remind everyone that's out there, the firm, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, is not, here we go.
They check the markets.
Mute Alan again. Okay. Dude, I don't know, man. You're the greatest.
Alan, you have something open in the background. You must have another screen open and it's running a commercial and that's what's creating the noise.
We got you on mute for a minute there, Alan. Okay, sort that out for me there. But I lost my train of thought. All right. So here we go. All right. So back to what I was saying. Great show this morning, attorneys. Fabulous show, by the way. Just wanted to remind everyone that the 60-year-old law firm, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico, located in Manhattan at 225 Broadway with offices in Peekskill and Brooklyn. Also, ladies and gentlemen, have what's called a personal injury department. And the attorney that heads up that department is a partner of the firm, and in my opinion, is the top personal injury attorney, period, out there. And he has settled well over $130 million for his clients. And I'm talking about real money. I'm talking about US dollars. If you ever get hurt in an accident, whether that be automobile, maybe a medical malpractice, construction accident, you name it, make sure you reach out to Adam Handler. We call him the case handler. He's there. Call the same number that you called to get your immigration consultation or hire an attorney for immigration. The same number, 844-774-3529. That's 844-PPID-LAW. It's a different department, separate department, and they can help you. 844-774-3529. Tomorrow we'll catch up with Adam Handler, giving us true success stories on people that he has helped who have been in serious accidents and some not so serious, but he did get settlements and verdicts for them. Once again, if you get hurt in an accident, reach out to the firm, Pollack, Isaac, and DeSico. Reach out to the case handler, Adam Handler, 844-774-3529. That's 844-PPID-LAW. Let's kick it back to another immigration question. My fiance's mother is a U.S. citizen and began the process of filing for him in August 2007. We already know we are not able to get married until this process is complete. I am 5 months pregnant, and his mother is insisting that I come to Florida, where she resides, to have the baby. Interesting. I have, however, been advised by my cousin, who is a nurse in Florida, is if neither parents are U.S. citizens or permanent
Squeeze, I'm
residents.
sorry, you froze in the middle of that question.
All right, let me go back again. My fiance's mother is a U.S. citizen and began the process of filing for him in August 2007. We already know we're not able to get married until this process is complete. I am 5 months pregnant, and his mother is insisting that I come to Florida, where she resides, to have the baby. I have, however, been advised by my cousin, who is a nurse in Florida, that would be a mistake. She said the policy there is if neither parents are U.S. citizens or permanent residents, the child will be classified as a Jamaican. This would not help our case at all. Is there any truth to this policy change with regards to children being born in the U.S.? Which state or states do you think would be best for me to go to if I am to go this route? Is it also true that in order for me to have the baby there, I would have to be in the U.S. at least 3 months prior to the date of delivery, as all tests, blood and otherwise done in Jamaica would not be accepted by the U.S. hospital, and I would have to do them over? Very, very interesting question. I'll let Alexandra, you want to take this one?
Sure. So that's simply not true. If somebody has a child on U.S. soil, the child is an American citizen unless the parent is here on diplomatic visa. That has not changed. There was talk about trying to change this, but it's going to take an amendment to the Constitution. So none of it is true. As far as coming here and having a baby, I think we've talked about this on the show many times before. To me, that's extremely risky. That's called birth tourism, and it's frowned upon for exactly that reason, that, you know, the baby, if born on American soil, would be an American citizen.
There's an additional problem, which is that if for unmarried sons and daughters of U.S. citizens, the line is about 7 years long. For married sons and daughters of U.S. citizens, the line is even longer. It could be about 14 years long. So if you get married, it's going to make the case take longer. You consider that also in whether you get married or don't.
Right. So just to add to what my colleagues said, your U.S. parent could still petition for you whether you're married or single. Obviously, single would be a lot quicker than if you were married. So I want to make that clear. As far as coming in while you're pregnant, we've discussed this on the show previously. There are potential inadmissibility issues.
Right.
You know, it's pretty obvious if you come to the United States to have a child, you're not going to pay for that medical bill, right? I mean, it is what it is. You can be turned away. Anytime anyone is seeking to enter the United States, again, the analogy that's often given is that you're knocking at the door. You don't have to be let in. That CBP officer has a lot of discretion. And as I said, public, or the possibility of being a public charge is a ground of inadmissibility,
Right.
So that's something to consider and something to take into account. Do you actually want to go through that process? Run the risk of, buying a ticket, about, getting on the flight, and when you're about to be let in, you could be turned away. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm saying it can happen.
Okay, but we have seen this situation, and we have heard about these. We have even had questions on the show, Nelson, Alan, and Alexandra, where people got turned away at the airport because they were pregnant. Right. From what I understand, I mean, it is wrong. I don't know. Is it considered breaking the law coming here having a baby?
Well, again, I think especially depending on the type of visa that you're coming in on, right?
Right.
And again, this goes back to what we said before. If you're coming as a tourist, I think it's a lot different than coming in, being 9 months pregnant. That's right, to have a baby.
Have the baby, right? You're really coming to have the baby, so that's a problem.
That's correct. Right. That could be seen as fraud.
But
I mean, again,
you're visiting and you have the baby. If you're visiting and it just happened that you have the baby, it's a whole different thing.
That's correct.
Gotcha.
That is correct.
That's the reason why we love you attorneys, man, at PPID. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I've always said to the listeners on 93.5 FM since 1996, there's no need to climb over the wall. There's no need to climb over the fence. When you can actually open the door and walk in. But some people believe that if they go to the door, it's going to be very complex. I tell you what, I've got the key to that door. The key is PPID. Speak with PPID. Ask them questions, all right? We have done probably hundreds, even thousands of questions here on the show. And some of the questions, yeah, I mean, I joke about some of them from time to time. I know I'm not going to stop. Okay, it's humor, all right? But at the same time, on the serious side, you need to take it seriously and reach out to PPID. Hire them. Let them handle it. This is your status in the United States of America. Don't play around with it. We invest money in so many other things. Getting your hair done, getting your nails done, getting all of that done. And you're not investing in yourself to get a consultation, to retain an attorney to handle your status in the United States? Come on, wake up. This is me saying, do not do your case yourself. Do not file for yourself or file for others without an attorney at PPID. I have seen the nightmares. I've heard the nightmares. Yes, Nelson.
You know, we've also spoken about instances where people are coming. We've actually had calls regarding this. People entering the United States on a tourist visa, the officer going through their cell phone and basically turning them back, you know, because they were coming to work.
Right.
So, I mean, again, you know, I think this is a wake-up call to a lot of people. You know, the fact that you have a visa does not guarantee entry into the United States. I mean, there's still, you know, that CBP officer that has a lot of discretion on whether or not he wants to allow you to enter the United States.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, just want to say thanks to each and every one for joining us right here on 93.5 WVIP FM and also on Facebook. We are asking you to share this show with as many people as possible on Facebook. Share it in groups, share it on pages. I am David Squeeze Annakie of the Link Up Media Group of Companies. Want to say thanks to Alan E.K. We call him the General. Okay, want to say thanks to Nelson Madrid. We call him the Maverick. Want to say thanks to Alexandra Bondakov. We call her the Boss Lady. And they are attorneys at PPID. Make sure you reach out to us each and every single weekday at 9:30 a.m. right here on 93.5 FM and also on Facebook. And ladies and gentlemen, on Saturdays between 6 and 8, Sundays between 10 and 2. Call them now. Book your consultation. Get that initial consultation, which will not be 30 minutes, not an hour, not even 20 minutes. All right? Definitely under that. The initial consultation. Call them at 844-774-3529. The key is to hire them. 844-PPID-LAW. That's 844-774-3529. 844-PPID-LAW. Have yourself an amazing Wednesday. Be good. There we go.
It's 10 o'clock.